In late April and early May, the Haganah launched a series of additional operations across Palestine. In a few places, Arab fighters managed to organize a strong defense.
And there was one very crucial fight on San Simon, which is a monastery, Jerusalem. We fought and fought and fought, and they were winning. Some of the wounded people were lying there on top of dynamites in case we have to withdraw. We cannot take all of them. They will kill themselves. And then at the end, there was something happened that no one knows what. And they started to withdraw. And that saved Jerusalem.
The Jewish settlements that made up the Etzion block south of Jerusalem fared much worse. An Arab assault destroyed all 4 settlements. 129 Jews died, many of whom were massacred after their surrender. It would be the worst Jewish defeat of the war. But by and large, the final weeks of the British Mandate went in favor of the Jews. By mid-May, 250 to 400,000 Arabs had fled their homes. Between a third and half of all refugees who would leave Palestine during the war left before the British completed their evacuation on May 14th. That same day, the Zionist dream became reality as David Ben-Gurion, the leader of the Jewish people in Palestine, read the Declaration of Independence.
אנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל. היא מדינת ישראל.
With the declaration of the state, the Jews of Palestine would now be called Israelis. The Arabs of the country would continue to refer to themselves as Palestinians. Massive celebrations broke out in Tel Aviv, but many Israeli fighters had a different reaction.
In the declaration of the state, I was not happy. I did not dance, yes, and I said it will be trouble.
With refugees pouring into their countries, Arab leaders could no longer ignore the crisis in Palestine. The day after the British left, units of the Egyptian, Jordanian, Syrian, Iraqi, and Lebanese armies entered the war.
There was a strong sense of fear. We knew that we don't have airplanes, we don't have tanks, yet.
This week's news includes pictures in Palestine taken from the Arab side. They show troops of the Arab Legion consolidating gains in a Jewish district of Jerusalem, where much of the heaviest fighting in recent days took place. Fires continued to add to the very considerable destruction already caused in the city, and at this time, at any rate, there seemed little prospect of calling a halt to the Arab-Jewish war.
It turned out now that there was one period in the war in which the Arabs had a superiority of power, and that was in May, when the Arab armies invaded Palestine and had weapons for which we didn't have an answer. But the general notion among Israelis, especially veterans of my age, the whole war was like that.
But if you calculate, as we did, the number of troops just in the Palestine theater, there are more Israeli fighters than there were Arab fighters.
The armies that these states had were very small, and they were poorly trained, because these states had been occupied by European powers, either the British or the French. The best troops were the Jordanian troops, the Arab Legion. Abdullah of Transjordan had made a deal. He wanted the West Bank, what had been allotted to the Palestinians in the UN plan. He wanted that for himself. And he promised then not to attack, and the Zionists agreed with that. Except for the battle for Jerusalem, which was to erupt, the Israeli army didn't really have to worry that much about a Jordanian attack. They could focus on the Iraqis, the Lebanese, the Syrians, who themselves were divided, and the Egyptians.
I don't think any one of the military commanders in the Arab world had any illusion that they would be able to defeat the Jewish state. But of course, to the public, they told that they would take Tel Aviv and so on, but I think that they were quite realistic people, and they knew the balance of power as anyone else among the leaders knew it.